Hello and welcome to Infamous MCP. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Parker. I go by One Who Roots on Discord.
This is Josh. Go by Grumozog on Discord.
I don't remember why we changed it. What were you doing?
Oh no, I changed it myself because of the news. I changed it
I see.
to what I will be doing.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that little joke because now we're not going to do the news. Skipping straight ahead, we have. All right, I guess we'll do some news.
News.
That wasn't good enough. I'm going to need a better one.
Better than that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. Here we go. News.
Hey, news.
Okay. All right, so fresh from Adepticon, we have some Sentinel spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess first, let's talk about the keynote in general. I didn't watch it, so I'm going to get that out of the way. I was busy when it happened. I went to the MCP hall to hang out with the Harvester guys. Upon reaching the hall, there's literally fucking nobody in there. I was like, where'd they all go? And so I walked up to the desk. I asked the guys, like, hey, where is everybody? Oh, they're all watching the keynote thing. I was like, oh, cool. Where's that? And he goes, I have no idea. And I went, cool. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm watching it on my phone. He's like, what are they doing? He's like, they're doing Shatterpoint. They just did MCP. I was like, oh, what'd they spoil for MCP? He goes, nothing. I was like, well, you're a great staffer. I'll see you later. And so anyway, that's all I know about the keynote. All right, so Josh, you were there. No, you weren't watching it, but you.
No, but okay. Do you want me to give you the 30-second breakdown?
Give me the 10-second breakdown.
Okay. They realized they are announcing stuff too far in advance. They are moving that back to try and basically have a 3 to 4 month cycle of we announce it, you get rules for it, you play it. That's why there was no more things.
Because at some point they have to let it age out. Makes sense.
It's like Onslaught got revealed last year. He's not coming out until December of this year. That's 2 years. And they're like, that's too far.
I completely agree, and I'm okay that they didn't spoil a bunch of new stuff. I agree with everything so
completely
far.
Agree. They did all of the Sentinels. We got to see some of the new models painted up. And then, for me, the big news is that they said roughly 80% of all characters are getting new cards in May or June. And they said most of those are just stat or health changes. And that was the summation of all of it.
I am very excited for that. I would love to see them go through and just tweak base numbers. They don't need to make big sweeping changes. Some base numbers on some legacy models and get them back in line with what's out now.
And I agree because I've argued for years now. Most of the models that don't see play are a couple stamina or like a singular defense dice from being there and viable. So
yeah, cool. All right, so let's jump into the Sentinel spoilers. Parker, where do you want to start?
Let's start with the man, Bastion.
Oh, that's the man? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was once a man. He was once a man.
You know what? There's too many words. Let's do a different one.
Bastion,
they're not all a bunch of words, are they?
They're all a huge stack of words. I don't know if you knew this now, but MCP is also a reading test. If you cannot read at least an 11th grade level, just fuck off and go play another game. There's going to be other things you can do because this game is all about them paragraphs, yo. Bastion looks like a ton of fun. I'm not going to go through this entire card, but he's got an affiliation for Sentinels that it just drips Parker. It's like they read my diary for all of the Sentinel themed stuff. It all comes around, removing power and mitigating power gain while you're doing things to them, which I think is super cool. There's a new ability that I don't think exists yet, but a couple of the new Sentinels have it. Bastion has it on both of his attacks called Degeneration. So it doesn't work immediately. So there's some sort of reactive effect that immediately gives them health. But after the attack is resolved... Oh, wait, no. There is... So... Actually,
let's just cover the ability first. It says after the attack is resolved, the defender cannot remove damage from it until the end of the activation phase. So depending on the timing of different effects, it could stop people from healing from this attack as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, would that work on Apocalypse, for example? I think it does.
Apocalypse would, because attackers' abilities go first.
Yeah.
But if it depends on when it triggers. If it's on damage, it says when suffering damage, then no, because he triggers on damage and you trigger after the attack. The attack has to be completely over before your thing triggers. So even though attacker goes first, it's at each timing step.
Apocalypse
so unless you want to look
says-
up a bunch of individual
I was
things.
going to say, when this, let's see, if this character suffered damage, it may remove one from itself. So it looks like Apocalypse, at least, doesn't do it. Or rather, it doesn't get around Apocalypse until you are degenerated, right? So the second attack, he wouldn't be able to remove. But-
Sure, once it's up, it's going to last for the rest of the turn.
Right.
Yeah, so that's clearly a very good ability.
Mhm.
The fact that it is now apparently on a bunch of things, I'm not happy with, because that seems like just a power creep thing. If like the meta is not nearly as much healing as it used to be, but still.
Right now, it's only on 2 things. We'll get to the other one in a second,
Mhm.
but
Sure.
it's cool that it's on 2 things now.
So he's a 4-pointer. His leadership basically says when you gain power from his models attacking you, you gain 1 less power, unless you cost more than they do, and then you gain 2 less.
I think it's super cool. It actually it dips into characters with deeper health pools a little bit harder, which I think is great. He places himself or others, so this is better than Thanos' old place because it costs 2 and places himself or others, but not enemies.
It's a much shorter range.
Yes, it is. Yeah, because his was 3 and this is only 2.
No, Cosmic Portal's range 4.
Oh shit! Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Go fuck itself. But
This is basically hair flip,
Yeah.
except you can only place off of him. No, you place off of yourself instead of the other person.
yes, but he can do himself, which Hairflip can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
opposite of placement on hair
Right.
flip.
But he can do it turn 1 because he gets 2 power, and he also has DR. With 7 health on the front side, 6 health on the back side, he's going to stay around for a little while.
Sure. Yeah, he seems good.
I think he is. He's a strong, turret with a small place. I think that's great. I'm excited for him. More things to give out root. It's on a spender, really expensive spender, so I don't know how often he'll do that. But another root opportunity for affiliation. My favorite thing is leaders that help you do their leadership, like Daredevil in Defenders is one example of just like a leader that actually helps his own leadership. So I really like those effects, and he does that, right? He helps his own effects by doing things like suppression and root on his own card. Even if he has to spend 5 to do it, it's still cool. So I'm really excited for Bastion. He is, from the comic books, he is a character that is super interesting because some writers have taken him and making him super badass and amazing and cool and sinister and amazing, and some have made him a total fucking joke. And so I am just, yeah, literally yes, like that lame. But there have been some series in which he is this righteous badass that is so scary and sinister.
So I think a lot of people had their first exposure to him in X-Men 97 because
Right.
not a huge amount of Marvel fans are comic readers, even
Mhm.
though it was originally comics.
Yeah.
Josh, how do you feel about Bastion?
Fuck this nonsense, dude. I'm gonna have to play against this with my Asgard, and that is going to be painful because I'm already power starved, almost essentially, always. So,
Yeah.
on a positive note, I actually think this is a very well-designed, fun character, and I think people are going to have a good time playing him. If this is, I know, between my teammates, they are ecstatic to play this. So
Yeah, not having a 5-point leader as your only option is also nice. So that'll
Mhm.
obviously be a big bump for them.
someday.
Cool. All right, are we ready for the next person?
Yeah, let's go to Nimrod next.
Okay, this is one I was excited to see.
I think Nimrod's model is amazing. His character design has always been so freaking cool. I love that they're going with his version from Powers of X, which is just a super awesome version of him. The old school Nimrod, which is just dumb super sentinel robot, was lame, but the modern one is so cool. That being said,
So I have a lore question.
mm-hmm.
Because Nimrod was like a series of robots, right? It wasn't just one guy.
No. Question mark.
But like the Nimrod is a famous one.
Right.
But Nimrod was just a series of Sentinels.
So Nimrod was basically it's like the next generation, right, of Sentinels. So there's Sentinels, there's like nano Sentinels, and then there is the ultimate mutant hunting, ultimate mutant hunter killer, which is like a Nimrod. So the original vision of Nimrod was just a soulless machine, kind of like a Super Terminator, like a T-1000 is to the
I was going to say that's basically the T-1000. The one that everyone knows from the movies is a famous one, but there were more than one.
Yeah, well, yes, they were made on assembly line just like the Master Mold. Then in the Powers of X, they kind of redefined it because the X-Men, specifically one of their main missions in their existence is to stop the Nimrod from ever showing up. Because as soon as it does, mutants struggle, right? And so in trying to stop the birth of the Nimrod in that series, they basically forced one of the designers of Nimrod into using her husband's mind as like a template for it. So the Nimrod the Hunter of this one is that one, which is it is one Nimrod that was born of this woman trying to functionally revive her husband. And so that Nimrod actually has the imprint of a personality. It's not just a soulless machine that, exterminate mutant. It's actually
RoboCop.
It's actually a very sinister, childlike mind. And so it's awesome. It is such a cool character because it's almost giddy to kill mutants. Like it has this weird glee, like childlike glee. And of course, this insane amount of technological power.
Okay.
So
cool. So let's talk about the guy now.
So he's a big one. He's speed slow, 5 cost, 7/7, all 4s. Man, the guy's a big one. He's got. I really like his tech. I didn't feel like anything on him was super crazy out of this world, but I really love his basic attack. I think his basic attack is super cool and very thematic because the whole point of Nimrod, of course, is the adaptive technology. So the fact that you get to choose physical or energy, and then if you get the wild, if it's energy, they get incinerate. If it's physical, they get root. I just think that's really cool. So you get to choose what you're doing.
I feel like it would have just been easier to make 2 attacks, though. Like, just do a physical and energy one probably would have been less space on the card.
Probably. I guess they just wanted that to be the builder, but...
Right, but you just do 2 builders. Like, there's no rule against having 2 builders.
Right. I think the other 2 attacks are good. Like, Shock on an A2 is fine. The Spender is good. A throw with more that's... And now we see the other degeneration effect that was printed. So, degeneration on his Spender. I love metahuman power recognition and adaptation protocol. It's could be 5 dice if you could do it twice. That's really cool. I like it a lot. It's just very thematic.
I think they knocked it out of the park with the design once again on this one.
Yeah.
This I only kind of know about Nimrod, but this feels like Nimrod. This feels great. That being said, once again, I gotta fight this fucking nonsense. But it's a great model as well. Superpowers wise, I think it'll be fairly solid. Healing factor 2 is crazy. So
he is thick, but he doesn't have DR. So I would argue that he's about the same toughness as Bastion.
Yeah.
But obviously the healing factor 2 will play into that if you can't prevent him from healing. Obviously, we're assuming that Sentinels are going to be fairly popular once all this stuff comes out, so there will be degeneration running around. And so that plays into it a little bit. But I don't actually see him being that good because his offensive suite is not, like you said, it's good, but it's not going to be good early because he's slow and he's only range 3. and so it's going to be hard for him to do anything than like an obvious one attack on first turn. And so it's like, why would your opponent give that to you unless they're already getting like an objective or something out of it, which means that you're on the back foot on tempo already. If he could place himself on the first turn, I'd feel better about it without having to attack first. That way you might be able to double tap, for example, because he is on a big base. I don't know. He seems okay, but he seems a little... He's got a ton of quality of life stuff.
Yep.
But no, like, play me because of X ability.
I feel like he is fair. I don't think he is. I don't feel like he is over the top. But
yeah,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I don't see any reason to put him on the table.
I want to put him. I guess I love Nimrod,
the model.
Yeah, I love Nimrod the model. I love Nimrod the character. And this guy is going to go down, and there's going to be games where he might lose because he pushed through a ceiling factor, and there'll be games where he just stands there like just a monstrous tank. And that's what he's supposed to be, because that's what he was in the comics. Is he just kind of waded into mutant powerhouses and then just didn't die while they tried to kill him, right? Like that's what.
But like compare him to like an old model in Juggernaut. Like, he's not a tank compared to Juggernaut.
No.
That's true.
No. And so, what's a 5-point model that's a tank that compares to this card?
I have a feeling that he is going to get 1 or 2 really cool tactics cards. I feel like they have set him up to be the tactics card wielder from this box, because I feel like he is the fair model. And so oftentimes the fair model that is just kind of more vanilla often gets a cool tactics card. I have a feeling he's going to get the tactics card. And my big argument for that comes from Omega Sentinel. Are we ready to talk about her?
Sure. I'm just looking at the 5-point slot in the list. I don't know why you wouldn't take Prime over this guy.
I think you absolutely could. I think you would not be wrong to do so. I think it's based upon probably map and what you'd like to do.
Sure.
Omega Sentinel is off the chain. I'm a little nervous what Brandon is going to think about her, because I love her, and it's 100% unapologetic, because I think she is totally turned, and she is also a Sentinel. But I don't think you are going to see her in just Sentinels. I think you're going to see her everywhere. She seems like the definition of power creep to me. But oh man, I want it. I want it because she's a Sentinel.
Are we on to Omega Sentinel?
I'm talking about her.
I'm reading the card now.
I'm letting Brandon look at her. I'll just say these things out loud. Speed long, flight, charge, range 3 builder. That is by itself dumb. And then you get down to electrostatic
I don't think
pole.
that's necessarily dumb on its own on a 4-point model.
But then you get down to electrostatic pole.
Sure, I'll get there.
I think
I'll just say this: if this is going to turn into Marvel Strike Force, where every new thing has more words on it, I think I'm out just for that reason, because infinite power creep is dumb. But I don't know that we're there yet. I'm getting to the point where like every new card that's come out is like 5 paragraphs. It's like, bro, come on.
I told you. It's a reading test. Josh, we interrupted you like 5 times. Go.
I think this model is going to be a problem. I won't give away tech, but my little brother is already excited to bring back Brotherhood with the power of the Sentinels on his side to try and break this. So I get that she's only 3s across the board, 7, but feels like crazy defensive tech. And depending on what you put her in, she is going to be a menace. I think this is one of those models they're going to release. You might even buy the box just for this model, and she's going to be able, because she can kind of jam in any list, no problemo. Not a single thing slowing you down from playing her. So,
I don't think she's a defensive model. I think she's actually a paper model, because Mega Cycle, the ability to change, I can tell you from playing characters like Vision a fair amount, you don't get to cycle that much. Because if you're spending 2 power every time you're attacked just to shift to a different thing, then you can't then turn that power into other effects that you need to do. Now, if you combine it with things like Steve leadership, it will feel much better. But dropping her in Lenny list is not going to feel like that.
I have finished reading. So yeah, she's basically Vision but she's got 3 forms.
Mhm.
So first off, terrible concept because 3 forms is going to be a bookkeeping nightmare because tokens don't have 3 sides. So there's going to be 3 separate tokens you're going to have to keep track of, which is going to be annoying.
Says you.
I'm just pointing that out right now. So it should just be no token is X and then token A, token B. But regardless, that's just a logistics thing. Okay, Hardened Carapace, I don't hate. Physical 5, DR to physical is fine-ish. I don't like that she can gain stealth.
It's
and
not-
I really don't like that she has an offensive position. That all said, I don't see her as broken as
Okay.
a 4-pointer. I don't see this model getting thrown in every list.
Mm-hmm.
Like at all. You 100% can make this model very good with the right stuff. But because she's only 3s across the board, she's not the super power over flipper. She can flip blues, but she's not going to be absolutely unstoppable at it. She'll just be good at it. And she is killable. She's very killable.
Yes.
I agree, pretty much across the board. I guess I should have enunciated,
Yeah.
but I think if you take her with a objective in mind and
Mhm.
something that helps her, she's going to be very good, and you're going to get
Yeah.
the mileage that you want out of it.
Yeah, I see you starting the game in plasmatic. Why is it not prismatic anyway? The
Plasma.
cloak. I see you starting with stealth and 2 additional dice against energy, putting her in cover and flipping points on the back line for a while, and then as she builds up power, going in and being an offensive piece. But she's not as far as 4-point offensive pieces that get played go, she doesn't really even rate that highly. She is solid, but she's not crazy, and she needs help to do it, I think. But I think she's good. I think she is good. This model is very playable, but I don't think it's pushed.
I
This
know.
just seems like a 4-pointer today.
I don't think she is. I agree with you. I don't think she is. I will actually disagree. I think she's near the top of the curve. I think she's up there with your Wolverines and I don't know if she's Shang-Chi level. No, she's not Shang-Chi level.
No, not even close.
But she is, and maybe for that reason I'm just wrong, and people won't play her everywhere. Let me say this for the record. I hope I am wrong. I want to play Sentinels. I don't want Omega Sentinel to be the model. I don't want her to be the new Beta Ray Bill. I don't think she is that because she has to spend 4 and do an attack to throw something, and she, like you said, I think she takes a little while to build up in every list, whereas Beta Ray Bill is always because he does his own power.
Yeah.
So I don't think has the ubiquity of Beta Ray. I don't think she's quite as Achille and hardy as Wolverine, and so for that reason, I don't know if she'll make those two, break those 2 top slots, but I think she's right behind that. I think she's right below that somewhere.
Wait, when you say Wolverine, are you saying Logan?
Sorry, Logan. What's the name of that model? What Logan?
The
Logan,
Wolverine.
the Wolverine.
Yeah, Logan.
You're
the
saying
Wolverine.
that you think she's in the same category as Logan?
No. I say she's right below it. I think if those 2 are the S tier, right? Logan the Wolverine and Beta Ray Bill are like S tier 4-drops for the things that they do, which is I think that she is in the tier below that for the thing that she does, which is
give me an example of a model that she's power level comparable to.
Oh, sorry. Shang-Chi would be up there with the Logan and the
Sure.
Beta Ray
Yeah,
Bill.
Logan and Shang-Chi are the S tier 4s.
Right.
You're saying she's an A tier 4.
Yeah.
So give me an example of another A tier 4.
Yeah, I'm struggling off the top of my head. Let me look.
I would say, I would put her below Psylocke in my mind.
Really?
I don't know about that guy.
I think with no help, with 0 help, Psylocke is a better model.
Okay, in a vacuum, I'll give you.
Now, because Psylocke can get a lot of help too.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Psylocke in a vacuum is an A tier 4, and she's on the lower side of the A tier 4.
Yeah.
So I would put this model more in the high side of B with no help. But obviously, she has multiple play patterns, which with help could get her easily above Psylocke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, in a vacuum, I don't see that.
Okay.
And that's where you get the super meta models. Like they don't need much help. They're good on their own. Like Zemo is the perfect example. He doesn't need fucking help.
No.
So anyway, I see kind of what you're looking at. I think you're a little high on her, but she is good.
I mean, Prowler is a long speed charger now, and I don't know if we see him absolutely everywhere.
I think he only gets played for the Taxes card.
Yep. So like, it's not that it's the only thing you have to have in order to be good. But I do think she is. I do think she's up there, and I'm happy that she is because I want to play Sentinels.
Like Sif. Like Sif is way better than this model, and I don't even think Sif is a meta piece.
And yeah.
And obviously, Sif is limited in the stuff she can do, but she still generates 2 power. She can play scenarios. She's a 2 power 4-pointer with DR. Like, how is that not super? She has everything. And so the fact she doesn't have a gun, I guess, is what holds her back. But she has charge.
Yeah, I agree that there are models in that A tier with her. I do not believe she's a B tier, but that's what I'll say. I do think she is pushed. I think, but I think she's not pushed up to the S tier. I'll bring my original assumption. I think there's only
2 or 3 S tier 4-pointers, like at absolute most.
I think a speed long flying charging model that rerolls 2 at range 3 is a fuckload of reach and killing power. Like that is a lot of that thing you thought was safe back there.
She can't charge on the first turn by herself.
I'm not saying she's a great tempo piece. I'm just saying that's incredible reach and accuracy. And there are very few models in the game with that combination of reach and accuracy.
Sure.
Also, the fact that she can secure an objective on turn 1 and she gets it on turn 2, unlike a lot of other characters, which secure on turn 1 and then lose the ability to charge or do their thing on turn 2. So I think she has tempo not on turn 1, but she has tempo on turn 2, which is cool. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
There are 2 ways to get a charge off first turn with her. So
sure.
Oh, there's several. There's like, are you talking about in general or just with her?
Yeah,
I mean, if you're playing
several leaderships,
playing C1, or you do Mystique, you can get charges.
Mystique, Steve 1, Black Bolt. I think Mighty Avengers.
Because you're double refunding instead of reducing cost.
Yeah. You can
actually wait. Doesn't Mystique only affects? Is she affect all interacting or just specifically extracts? Pretty sure Mystique is specifically extracts.
Let me see.
And I think this says specifically secures.
It does say this. Omega says.
But regardless, there's a bunch of leaderships that do it, plus Wong, and so there's ways to do it. But again,
it is an extract.
Right? But like you could just take a 3-pointer and do that if you're willing to spend outside resources. And you're losing 1 reroll, but you're gaining a threat back. Like there's comparable effects in the game. I'm not saying she isn't good.
Right.
Yeah.
I do not think she is. She is
like
not. Go ahead.
I was just saying, Shang-Chi and Logan can turn games on their head. She is rolling 5 dice with like no special triggers. Like she's getting some rerolls, but
quick side note: they did admit they are nerfing Shang-Chi, and they understand he's a problem. So
yeah, obviously, but like
Logan's a year and a half later, but yes,
Logan still hasn't been fixed.
It's because you can't buy him.
Yeah, someone's got to sell that box.
Yeah. I'm actually really happy to hear that you don't think she's a problem, because I hope other people feel the same way and I can play her and other people won't. That's what I want to happen.
Oh, the reason I don't think she's like meta breaking is because like she doesn't do enough to swing the game. Like if delivering a 5 dice without Pierce that has 2 potential rerolls on a glass cannon piece was enough to win the game, we would be talking about a different MCP.
Yep.
And she does help she's not useless in the scenario play, but she's not doing anything other than normal scenario play stuff. Like you just take like, what's his fucking name? The Heimdall, and do effectively the same thing that you're doing, but it works on multiple people. Like there's ways to get her kit in the game already. So that's why I'm not too worried about it.
I got super excited when I read Electrostatic Pole, because I was, oh my gosh, reroll 2. And then I thought, wait a minute, there's a character that's been doing that for a long time and no one plays her at 4 points, and that's Squirrel Girl. Like Squirrel Girl, exactly. like Squirrel Girl is as a turret better than Omega Sentinel, but Omega Sentinel is just much more mobile than she is. But Squirrel Girl already does this, and I've never once seen Squirrel Girl. I've never seen the model painted ever. I'm sure somebody has. but
I
I've never
have.
once.
Aaron has her. He played her against me a few times.
There you go. Okay, well,
Okay.
that makes me feel much better, actually. I'm really, really happy to know that she's not broken. The next one is the Prime Sentinel. We're going to talk about.
Please tell me they're the same.
We're going to talk about the girl first, and then the boy.
God damn it.
They're the same.
They are. Tell me they're exactly the same.
They're exactly the same.
Thank God.
They do have different art on their cards, which I think is cute.
I
but they're
noticed
exactly
that.
the same.
Yeah.
So I like the Prime Sentinels. I think they're kitschy. I think they're definitely part of this era of 3-pointers that are just fair and characterful. They definitely knew exactly what you think they should do going along with Bastion because they are his cronies. So I think it works well.
Okay, so if you are rooted, they can re-roll by removing the root.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah. No notes.
Yeah, they're just like they're a simple machine that works exactly like you think it does, which is give people root and
Man,
then
can you?
use the root.
If only they had that like 2 years ago when Sentinels came out.
Right.
Yeah.
People would have been tearing their fucking hair out for 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
We already have models in the game that give out root, and they're not broken because root doesn't stop you from just shooting somebody. So I think it's a very fair rule. It'll feel great sometimes and not great other times. I do think it's cool that the Prime Sentinels, if you're playing for like the root game plan and your opponent has a model that root does nothing to, whether because of the situation that they're in or the fact that the model just doesn't use power well or at all,
immune.
yeah, or they're immune. Well, not immune. Immune doesn't help. But if they have root on them and it doesn't help you win, then the Prime Sentinels can turn that into something like a dice modification.
I see what you mean. Yes.
So like you can still get value out of it. So I think the Prime Sentinels are cool as a 1 of or a 2 of, depending on how hard you want to like go into that game plan. But
I want stuff like this for every faction, like just like Shield Agent Sergeant or something. It's like just give me a 2-pointer that's just like a bare bones card. It's just someone who can just fucking stand there.
A no name thing. Give me
grunts that aren't broken. Yeah.
Little Asgardian soldiers, just Asgard Soldier 1 to run at people.
I think everyone should have a generic that you can take 2 of.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's good. The best model here does seem like Omega Sentinel, but I don't know. I don't know that I would call that broken.
Good.
I think she's just gonna die too fast.
I think she will take some nuance. I think you'll have to like play with her and try her with different things, but I do think she will be fun. The one thing about her kit that I like is if you start the turn with electrostatic pull, hopefully you do 2 damage and then you can turn it back into one of the defensive things. I think you'll get to do the thing. I think you will get to do the nano shifting protocols, which is what I thought, which is one of the parts of Vision that I felt like was hard, is that I felt like I didn't get to change and shift the densities very often because.
Wait, what do you mean? Hold on.
I felt like he often didn't have enough power to do it.
But doesn't he have a beam that's a gainer? And she has a builder?
Yes. Wouldn't you think that?
Okay.
I'm just telling you what
So charge is relevant. I'll say that charge is relevant, and he tends to want to throw stuff, but he doesn't want to anymore.
Yeah.
I think you will quickly find that with the new meta and how many things get to choose damage type or have multiple types of attacks, you will really not like how often you have to switch to get value. And you will also really not like how useless defense dice are.
Yeah.
Because without DR or another ability, like just rolling defense dice is risky. Like it's really easy to just get blown up.
I do not think she is a tank. I don't think you should use her as one.
I don't think anyone was saying that,
but I do like I like that it could work. That she is going to get to do the thing. That's really all I want from the models.
If we say that the adaptive nano shifting was just not on the card, ignore every reference to it. She's terrible, right?
Yeah, she's
her offense is too low, her defense is too low, she doesn't contribute. So we're only talking about if that is enough to polish what is otherwise a very subpar model.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that you will find it is less than good.
Mhm.
And again, if you're just talking about playing Sentinels and having a good time, I think you'll have a great time with this model.
Yeah.
If you're talking about like, I want to play Sentinels and try and win a big tournament, I don't think this model is enough to move the needle, but it is one of the better models in the faction.
Just out of curiosity, I'm seeing that she has that she doesn't have card art on Jarvis Protocol.
Correct.
But the model art looks like she has hair, like two ponytails.
Oh, I thought it was tentacles.
No, that's hair. It's like two ponytails.
Okay.
Does she have two heads? Am I crazy that there was also the one where she is like just like a nebula, where she just has like a robot head?
No, I think it's a backpack and ponytails.
No, I mean, was there an alternate sculpt? Do we know that? I thought early on.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, I thought early on, like some of the original stuff. The reason I ask is my Omega Sentinel that I know and love and read a whole lot of, she doesn't have hair. And so when I saw this model, I was like, huh, this must be like the OG Karima. Because Karima was a friend of the mutants that got infected by the nanovirus, and that's why she's a Mega Sentinel. But the modern version of her she looks a lot like Nebula, where she doesn't have any hair.
Okay.
She's all machine.
So, storyline question. The Prime Sentinels are the things that were on the X-Men 97 show, right?
Yes.
And they're just infected people, basically? Or they're designed to be like sleeper agent Sentinels, basically?
Yep. They're using nanotech stuff and a combination. Now, I do not know exactly like which Prime Sentinels these are, but Bastion famously used Technarchy, the stuff Warlock is made of, the transmode virus. He used the organic transmode virus to fuck with Sentinel nanotechnology. And so I don't know if these are that or something just totally from just straight out of X-Men 97. They look straight out of X-Men 97, but I do know they're...
Obviously, this whole release is kind of meant to be filling that hole. Cool. So moving on, talking about Josh, you played in the affiliation battle and had an absolutely amazing time.
Do we want to talk about the last character? Do you care?
There's another character? What's the other character?
The last character is not a Sentinel. It was the card revealed by Everybody Got One. Jubilee.
Oh, Jubilee, yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard about this at all. She's a two threat.
I am so mad about Jubilee.
That she exists, or about how they did her?
How they did her. Not that she exists.
Okay, so you're not mad that she exists. Okay.
No.
I was going to say, I'm a fan of Jubilee. I think Jubilee should exist. So
No. Jubilee, the character, should absolutely exist. She's a badass character.
Her real name is Jubilation?
You didn't know her real name is Jubilation
I
Lee?
had no idea that was her real name.
Her name is literally Jubilation Lee. She is the Blackagar Boltagon of X-Men.
Okay, hold on. Let me read this. Okay, so far I've read several things on her card, and she's way worse than Spider-Ham, so I'm noticing a trend. Ugh. Holy busted triggers, Batman. Yeah. Oh, God. Ugh. Okay. Alright. I'm going to check the back.
Does this model see play outside of being a two-threat?
Yes, it does. Well, then no. So Honey Badger sucks because she can't contest. So yes, she'll see play. Will she see play out of X-Men? No. I don't know. I mean, the kit doesn't immediately... This is more comic accurate than fucking Shadowcat's card, which has nothing to do with her being Shadowcat and everything to do with her trying to be good. Jubilee was not a powerhouse in the show. She just wasn't. Even at the very last season when they did a time skip thing, she was still only okay.
Parker's thoughts.
I am royally pissed that this card exists. Not the character.
Why?
The character is fine. I hate when they remove affiliation identities from this game and give them to specifically exactly the X-Men. It's happened over and over and over again. I don't know, and I get it. Everybody loves the X-Men. I fucking love the X-Men. I can walk over there. The heaviest shelf that I own is full of X-Men. I fucking love mutants.
I don't understand what you're saying. You're saying you don't like that it says James Logan Hewitt on her card?
No, I hate that it says two threat. Now
okay.
you can play X-Men at 7 points. The point of Guardians of the Galaxy is that you could play Guardians of the Galaxy at 7 points.
That's not an X-Men exclusive thing. That just happened to be the case.
What?
or a Guardians thing.
No, that was the thing that
that-
Guardians. That was the thing
that
that
was
Guardians
the
had. I do not, in terms of the game.
That's
and
not
balance,
like a unique thing to them. That just happened to be the case, though.
What do you mean?
They
That
never,
is
it's
the
not like they
unique thing to
said
them.
Guardians are designed to be the only faction that can play at 7 points. Like that was never the case. It just happened to be true for a long time.
Oh, what? No, that had to be part of the design space. That had to be something that kept their faction.
I think
with
it
an
was
identity.
part of the design spaces that they wanted to be a cheap team that you could put other people in.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever said this is meant to be truly unique to them. It's like Spider Foes didn't have a monopoly on playing all 4-pointers. It just happened to be the case.
I do not like it when an affiliation gets. I feel like the X-Men are just the Avengers again. The Avengers don't even
Sure.
have 2-pointers though. Like now here's the thing. This character only benefits me. Like I love Professor X. If I played Jubilee, Professor X gets much better in every way. Like everything that I want to do with Professor X's list now gets opened up wide. One would think that because I love Cyclops and Professor X, and she would do well in either, better in Professor X, that I would just be excited and just be happy.
Yeah, I think you are
But
right in the fact that
Don't like
X-Men get whatever they want.
Yeah.
And anytime they have the mildest inconvenience,
They get
the devs swoop in and Deus Ex Machina their problem away.
Yes.
And I think you are correct in that frustration. I don't think this model coming out devalues Guardians is all I'm saying. Like, Guardians are Guardians. This is her. They're exactly the same in the fact they both have a 3-point leader that has very good leadership, but is just an okay model. And then they have a non-scoring 2 and a scoring 2. Like, dude, Hydra can play basically at that point total too. Also so can Cabal. Cabal has a 3 and 2 2s. Like, it's not unique to Guardians. Like, X-Men aren't even the second faction.
I
to
forgot
get
the
this.
sin technically. Who's
Right.
the other?
She's awful,
Yeah.
but it is legal. And so I'm just saying I don't like that part of your argument. As far as the X-Men like just being giant crybabies that get whatever they want, I mean, it seems to be true based on evidence, and it is frustrating when, like, my biggest frustration was the Logan thing. When the Logan X Weapon X box came out, Logan was not X-Men affiliated. And then the entire internet cried about it, saying that, oh, he's Logan, he has to be X-Men. It's like, it's literally Logan on his own. He's wearing a cowboy hat. He's not blue and yellow Logan. It's the guy who wasn't part of the team. He was never supposed to be part of the team, but they whined about it so much that they changed it. They literally changed it after they spoiled it because there's so much backlash. And it's like, yeah, that's stupid. Like, the fact that Colossus is going to get reworked until he is literally unkillable and has infinite range bodyguard is just the case that we're in, because for some reason they just listen to everyone's complaints about X-Men, and I hate it. But
so maybe
as far as Jubilee goes, I think she is underpowered for a 2. Was my initial impression.
I don't think she's underpowered for a 2. I think she is weak, but I don't think she's underpowered. I think that now I will grant you this 2 things. One, that your point that I am probably just working out frustrations about the way that X-Men are treated in this game and how they're treated like this little golden child. Not really a golden child.
Yeah.
They're treated like this little spoiled brat that needs to be fed things that he screams for.
It's Webs and X-Men. They both just get infinite help.
I actually don't think Webbs is a spoiled brat. I think Webbs is like a trust fund baby. They're just born with everything. They don't work for anything. They don't even ask for it. It just is there for them. It's really
you
weird.
say that, but like Black Cat and Spider Woman came out and ASM came out after the fact. Like, the original wave was really strong, and then they just kept getting more stuff.
But that's what I mean by trust fund baby. Like, they never asked.
Yeah.
Nobody, they never asked. But I feel like
that's true. It's not like the Webs community is begging for help. But
No.
when I say that, like, X-Men are begging for help, it's not like because I play X-Men, it means I go on the internet at night when I'm asleep and sleep text like Pagani to give me help. Like, that's clearly not the case.
Right.
But there have been lots of social media posts asking for help. Not that everyone has been part of that. It's just
what it is. The second thing that I'll grant you is that this Jubilee is Jubilee. Like, they did translate a teenager from the 90s who has fireworks powers into Marvel Crisis Protocol. this does feel like Jubilee. The fact that she is just slightly more useful than a Hydra Grunt is not nothing. like, like the fact
And
that
probably worse if you know how grunts roll.
yeah, like she's
Yeah.
just slightly better than a Hydra Grunt.
I
Not
will
much.
say that almost every 2-pointer has their thing. Like Toad's thing is extraction tokens. Bullseye's thing is never missing, and then Bob's thing is he has one big shot. Her thing is defensive rerolls, and so she does buff local members, which is kind of a new thing to 2-pointers.
Mhm.
I just of all things to be good at, usually you don't want your 2-pointer following around another model. That's kind of a waste of a resource. You kind of usually want them to spread out.
Yep.
But it is a thing that she can do. That's not nothing, especially in a team that has, wait, do they have a martial artist? Do they have someone who counts blanks?
Psylocke.
Psylocke. I was going to say. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with this card. The fact that now we just need to break up the super teams and just go we're splitting Avengers in half, we're splitting Cabal in half, we're splitting X-Men in half down the line, and we're just going to make multiple factions. And then if you want to crossplay, you can, but we shouldn't have some teams have 30 people and some teams have 7. It's just too much.
Josh, what was your opinion of Jubilee?
She is going to be an excellent little 2-pointer that sits on your very back point, and she will die to a stiff breeze when that breeze comes nearby. I do feel like she's pretty thematic to do positive. I like that she's a 2 threat with an actual slight downside of, you should never pick up an objective token with her if you think you're going to roll dice, because you're going to roll crit every time. It's just going to happen.
I do love that. It's very cute. And she's like, oops.
This is something we talked a lot about on the car ride home. The Wolverine rule, regardless of if it's cool or not, love it. I would like it
because it's all she did on the show. Like, Wolverine, help me!
Yeah, my God.
I am disappointed that there are I can only think of goblins, but a hatred rule.
Mm-hmm.
There should be more. Drax literally exists to kill Thanos canonically. That is the entirety of his existence. Where is my reroll old dice when attacking Thanos rule?
Well, it's really Ronan, but yes.
No, it's Drax.
No, Drax wants to kill Ronan in the movie, at least.
In the movie, yes.
Yeah.
In the
comics, it's Thanos.
Drax is an entirely different character.
Okay.
And he gets brought back to life to kill Thanos.
Okay.
And remade. So I would love to see more of this. They've got a superpower for interacting in between a specific
it's like the
character.
Honey Badger X-23 thing, but not fucking broken.
Oh, yeah, or Proxima and Corvus, where they have the husband-wife rule.
Yeah.
It's such a cool, flavorful thing that I wish existed across.
But again, not that rule, but a rule that is good.
Yes,
that is not broken.
Thematic, that's not broken, but playable.
Yeah.
Cool.
They get a reroll when they get strategic genius only for that person.
Yes.
Something. Yeah.
Something.
Some little thing. And I would also love to see more nemesis or hatred or whatever you want to call it.
Something, man.
Yeah. And not just putting Peerless on every model that costs 9 points for apparently no fucking reason.
That's a third of all comic things is Spider-Man has his villains that he fights. They don't like him. He doesn't like them. Where are my rules that be like you are Spider-Man fighting against spider foes?
Yeah.
Where's the interaction? So
alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and move into our next segment, which is we had a little bit of a spicy tournament over the weekend, or I guess 2 spicy tournaments technically. So this one got brought up on the Facebook page, and also anyone who is following the tournaments closely knows about it. But there was the championship tournament, is what it was called, right? The World Championships. Yes. So there was a feeder tournament that was 128 players. Is that right?
Oh, it got up to 164 or something.
Yeah,
absurd.
It was a big event, right?
Huge.
So they played, I believe this would have been on Thursday then? The Thursday, the 160 or 70 person tournament starts.
No, Friday.
Friday. So they
Friday
start
was-
playing, and they announce that they're going to play down to 64 players. So you play day 1, and they play, and then X amount of people are going to make it to day 2. And then day 2 is going to play until there's 8, and then they're going to play a top 8 on Sunday. So what happens is that they work their down to their 64, and they take the top 64, plus there were some people that were like already qualified. So I think they said they took 55 people from the Open, and then they started the 64-player 4-round tournament, and they're going to a top 8. So anyone who knows tournament structure well knows that, well, if you play 64, effectively you're eliminating half the people every round, because half the people are in a undefeated match are going to lose. And so you go from 64 down to 32, from 32 down to 16, and from 16 down to 8 undefeateds. Here's the issue. They made it a 4-round tournament, not a 3-round tournament. So in doing so, there are 8 undefeated players at the end of 2 rounds, and they play a third, or at the end of 3 rounds, they play a 4th round. Anyone who's played other highly competitive games knows that there's something called an intentional draw. An intentional draw is basically where 2 players agree through no form of incentivizing or what's the opposite of incentivizing? Badgering, I guess. There's basically nothing at stake other than our decision making to agree to not play a game and instead take a draw. Magic is famous for this. There's a bunch of other events too. X-Wing had it for a long time. Because you'll get into these situations where it's like one of us is going to play and we're going to lose, and we'll get knocked out of the top 8. We don't want to do that because we feel like we've played well enough to make it to the next day. And why would we risk it when we can just both split and not play the game? A lot of people don't like this. I believe Josh is one of them.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I will share my feelings once the full thing is set up.
All right, so I'll continue with the mechanical aspect of it. We'll get into opinions after the fact. In many competitive tournaments, this has been a big deal. The big thing for an intentional draw is it's not a win. It is a draw. So instead of being 4-0 if you had won the game, you will go out 3-0-1. So we'll come into why that's important later as well. What had happened, though, is of the 4 matches of the 8 undefeated players on day 2, is 2 of the matches intentionally drew. And I know, because I was there, that at least one of the other 2 games was offered an intentional draw, and the opponent refused, so they played the game. So that's all well and good, and AMG even made a post on their Facebook page commenting about how intentional draws are acceptable within their tournament format, because it's mentioned in their tournament rules. So you are allowed to do this. The issue that happened is both of the games that intentionally drew in the final round reported a score. And the score that they reported was not, the TO didn't tell them to report that score. They just took it upon themselves to report the score. And so one of the matches did 16-16, the other match did 14-14. Now, in their defense, I don't know if they knew what they were supposed to report or not. I don't know if they had talked about it with the TOs and someone had mentioned. I don't have that information. All I know is that there were scores reported they didn't match. Now, also in their defense, if you're trying to put it in on Longshanks or whatever tournament software they're using, it might have made you put one in because 0-0 wasn't acceptable or something. I don't know. But after discussion, the judges decided that they wanted to zero out their scores because you're not supposed to get any score for a 0-0. I think a lot of people initially say, hey, you're supposed to get 14 points on a draw. That's not correct. 14 points is for a concession in which you did not already achieve 14 points. So it's to stop your opponent from conceding to intentionally screw you out of victory points. So, regardless, that's what happened. The reason you can't report a score is because you didn't play the game. So agreeing on any amount of points above 0 would be collusion. And collusion is when 2 players decide to create a game state that's beneficial to them that is not a competitive game state. And so if hey, we'll just stand here, there's 4 victory points on this map, I'll take 2, you'll take 2, and we'll just infinitely pass the turn back and forth till we get to turn 300, and we'll each have 600 victory points, giving us amazing tiebreakers. That you can't do that because that's collusion. You're abusing the game state to gain an advantage. They go on, they play the top 8, whatever. The reason it doesn't actually matter what scores they put in is because AMG is using the player records as first standings. And so you can set the tournament to work a lot of different ways. The way they're doing it is all that matters is what your record is. So the first thing that actually matters is your number of losses. And so fewest losses is first tiebreaker. Second tiebreaker is most wins. And so if you went 3-0-1, you are better than anyone who has a loss, but worse than anyone who has 4 wins. So it doesn't really matter what they could put 100 in there, and in the exact example we had, they still would have ended up in the same placement of the top 8. So it didn't really matter. So I think if anybody's freaking out that the 4 people that did that were trying to gain some huge advantage, I don't think the scores they put in really affected anything. It's like a couple decimal points at best. What really mattered, if you want to argue about stuff, is the fact that people that have already made it to the top 8 currently, drawing prevents people below them from getting up back into the top 8. So if you lose in the first round, why did I play 3 more rounds of gaming to go 3-1 and have no chance of actually making it in? Because the people that made the top 8 drew, not giving me a chance to fight back in. So I think I've covered all the mechanical stuff for it. Josh, I think you have something to say about your feelings on the subject.
I just want to spell out my username real quick in case you want to message me personally. It is GRUMULZAG. If you did this, it is the rankest of cowardice. It is dishonorable, and if it were up to me, you would have been handed an auto loss and lost your position. Because what you did was, everyone there traveled for a big tournament. We're all trying our best. We're all expecting fair, honorable games. If you cheated, you would have been disqualified. And so what you did was basically hit a spot, and you gained an advantage. Now, this advantage was allowed by the tournament pack, which means the tournament pack was bad. And you said, instead of playing a game to see who's better, we are just going to basically step all over everybody else that went 3-1 and maybe had a chance to take your spot. And that's competition, right? Mm-hmm. What you did was not competition. It is gamification, which is bad. It creates a negative experience for all of those involved. Most people probably don't even know that you did it, but I do. And I think you should be ashamed that you did that.
So, did you know before the weekend that intentionally drawing was a legal move?
I didn't know if you could even do that. It would never register in my mind because I came to play games. I'm going to play my games. And especially in a tournament that is considered the Worlds, I will play every single game that I am dealt to play. Yeah. Even you know what? Even if I was like, oh man, I did 3-1, but I didn't make top cuts. If there were games the next day, I'm still going to go play. Because that is the point, is to push yourself and try to play within a competition to the best of your ability to see how well you can do against your opponent. And to just simply not play a game and handshake, walk off, knowing that you didn't actually earn it is pretty stupid. That's a bad tournament pack rule.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't even know you could do that.
So as to my understanding, there weren't rules for intentionally drawing in a game without playing the game in the normal, what are they called, the Challenger document. Yeah. Now, I don't know if there was a separate rules pack for the world competition thing. I don't know if there was like a separate something in there.
I assume they have a thing.
I haven't dug into it to see if it's actually spelled out. They might have just talked about it and decided that it wasn't against the rules as opposed to being specifically permitted. I'm not sure. I know I talked to some people. Some people were upset, but before we move on, let's see. Parker, did you have anything you wanted to say about this? And I guess I'll just preface what you're going to say with saying that this is a big deal because it's the first precedent at a large event with this becoming an issue. And if it had been an established practice in the past, clearly it would have been expected that would have been an option. And people might have decided to make different decisions because obviously you travel to a big convention. There's a lot of things to do. You have a limited amount of time. if you had lost in the first round, I think a lot of those people would decide to drop, knowing that there was an incredibly small chance that they could have made it.
My biggest problem is that you don't even know it's a possibility. The very first time I ever encountered this was in X-Wing, and it was at a semifinal table, and my opponent knew how it worked and I didn't. And they had to explain it to me. And I said, "No, let's just go ahead and play." And I said that because I'd been playing all day and I couldn't fucking follow him, and I was like, "Let's just play a game," because I came here to play games.
The concept of an intentional draw is very abstract.
Yeah.
It's like, so you want me to choose to basically lose a game.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out how that's going to work. Yeah.
Right. And I had somebody explain it to me later, and the person who offered it to me said, "Okay, fine." And I guess, there's probably a line that someone can cross where somebody could say, "No, I don't want to intentionally draw," and the other person goes, "Why not?" and like tries to make him feel bad for not taking that. And I'm sure, who knows if that happened here. I'm not saying it did. Of course, it may have been totally the opposite. I've never been made to feel that way if one's ever been offered to me. And I know someone was offered to me at least a couple times in X-Wing, and I never took it because I wanted to play games. The reason of going to the tournament was not to win; it was to play games. If winning happened, that was a cool bonus. So and that's really the thing for me at the end of the day, which is if you're going there for just the win, and that's the only thing you're going there for, and that's the reason why you made the trip, is to win the whole thing, and the tournament packet allows it. I think it's a strategy that allows you to win. It's as valid as scoring high or playing Web Warriors to try to increase your chances of winning. Right. It really sucks for the tournament format, because if anyone else had the same goal as you and didn't get to that moment, then they have an automatic disadvantage having nothing to do with their ability to play and that person's ability to play. It takes the competition out, and it's just a math game. Shame on AMG for making those players experience worse, both the players that were in the position and then chose not to compete in order to get an advantage, and the players who also wanted to win, and they lost automatically because the other players took that advantage. So I think that's a shame on AMG. I don't know how much it's a shame on the players. I think the player that wanted to play asked their opponent, nope, or said that told their opponent, "No, I'm not doing that," or didn't even think of it. Like I didn't even think of it the first time somebody offered me. I was like, "That's a thing," and so no, I just play tournament games. But I don't look at the people who chose to do it and go shame on them, because if that's why they came and the tournament rules allow it, then that's just what they do.
You kind of looping yourself there.
Sorry, I'm getting a little loopy. It's late.
Yep. I think you got there kind of at the beginning. You said that people go there for different reasons, and when you went to the one tournament, your goal was to play games, not to win. I think some people that go to the World Championships, their goal is to win, right? Mm-hmm. Like they approach it from the perspective as, my intent is to give myself the best opportunity to win,
right?
And if that maneuver or choice it increases their odds of winning, it's hard to fault them for that when it's presented to them as an option.
The problem is it removes actual competition. There's
right, so that's what I'm saying. From the opposite side, people like Josh, who their goal was to play the most games and have honest competition, that is removing that from their ability to experience that.
Yeah.
And so it's all about people going there for different reasons, and it's directly affecting one person's ability to do the other.
Mm-hmm.
I just say carry yourself with a bit of integrity. It's not that hard in this world, honestly.
So I obviously think that it would have been much better if we had, I think in hindsight, if AMG thought there was a chance that this was going to happen, they would have not chosen to schedule 4 rounds. I think their thought was, we'll have 4 undefeateds and 4 X-1s will make it in. And so that will give people from the first round reason to keep playing. And I think if they had thought, oh, well, what happens if, some amount of them, maybe even all of them, decide to intentionally draw, and we have 56 people playing matches for no reason. And I think that's kind of an awkward situation to put everybody in. When there are lots of other premium events that you could go play in, there are once a year opportunity. Encouraging people to stay there for no reason is kind of stupid. I think next year we won't see this as an opportunity. They won't decide to run an extra round for no reason.
I will say I would put the blame first on AMG, just because of how the rules were structured and the playing of 4 rounds. But at the same time, I'm gonna die on my hill of you should just play your fucking games because everyone else is there to play their fucking games, and maybe you lose out, but it's a tabletop game, so
Yeah. I remember back in the War Machine days, like there was the Invitational, the super elite tournament to get into. Like most people would try for years to not even get close to getting in. And so you basically had to win a large, like 30 plus person tournament with very steep competition to get an invite to one of these places. Like commonly the ones that you would get, you'd have to go to a convention into like one of these style tournaments where you play in a 20 person tournament. The winner of said tournament made the Masters tournament, which was an 8-person tournament on Sunday. Winning that got you a spot at the Invitational. And so like it was hugely cutthroat competition. There was only 16 spots for a very long time. It was very, very hard to get in. I worked for probably 6 years to get an invite to that tournament. And so I can definitely see you get into a spot where you're like, all I have to do is shake hands with my opponent and I get into this top 8. You're like, yeah, 100% I can see a lot of people wanting to do that. And I won't fault them for that because I think if you do stuff that you are allowed to do within the rules that is not objectively bad sportsmanship, I don't think there's any problem with that. For example, like if you're playing Shang-Chi and Logan, and let's just say hypothetically they're most broken models in the game, and just for example, I don't think you should feel bad about that. If your goal is to win the big tournament, you should be doing that. You should be giving yourself every opportunity to win. Now, that doesn't mean you should be fudging dice rolls or, like anything like that. Like, you should be bumping models. Like, 100% within the rules, be a good person, but, like, play the game that's given to you. I don't make the game. I can only do the things they let me do. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to shit on the people that decided this. I think putting people in a situation where that is an obviously good choice is a bad idea. Like you said, I would tend to blame the TOs. In the TO's defense, I don't think they ever even imagined we would be in this situation right now. Because it's never happened before. We've never had a big intentional draw moment at a large event. So live and learn. It was a stupid idea to make you play an extra round. And now we know there's an even stupider reason behind it other than why are we making people go multiple rounds past. So yeah, the whole thing was a little weird. A lot of people were upset by it. Some people were not upset by it. It is what it is. I would have liked to see, if you want to do that kind of tournament, I'd just make it a single elimination. And then just have other events going up. And so as people lose, they can move over to the other events. Like, Timeline could have started in the afternoon of that day and not had 6 rounds in one day on Saturday. Because at one point, you start at 176 and you do 3 rounds day 1. You do 3 rounds the next day. Well, by noon on Saturday, there's only 20 or 32 players left in it. There's 140 people open to play Timelines because you did single elimination.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways you can build your tournaments to complement each other. And so I would have liked to see them do something like that as opposed to just make them play an extra round of Swiss for no reason. It was always odd. Also, please, for the love of God, use chess clocks, guys. 40K is using fucking chess clocks and MCP isn't. Guys, come on. And I know there's some people that aren't huge fans of chess clocks, but it's fair. That's the only, a friend of the show, Aaron England, we went to WTC with Aaron. Aaron is a smart guy. He prefers time turns. I'm not going to fault him for that. But his big argument is that you get more time technically, but with a round timer. That's true. But with a chess clock, I know that I am getting my fair amount of time.
Correct.
No one's going to get in there and just not play as fast as me. And I'm not saying that they're intentionally playing slow. They might just play at a slower rate. But if you're playing at your honest rate, which is half the speed I'm playing at, you're getting 2/3 of the time. And that's not fair to me.
But the biggest thing about that is if you say there are round timers, then there is no tie. The fact that ties were rampant throughout the entire event, even after the intentional ties, the fact that so many of the final rounds, the top 8 rounds, went to time, that to me is actually terrible competition. The fact that it wasn't a competition between the players that were the best, it was the competition who activated last, or who had the most agency at the moment that the timer was called. And that
when they just called dice down in the middle of a round, it's like, well, I just activated Spider-Man and he moved 3 of your people off points, so I guess I win. Or I manage a draw that I never should have had a chance at.
Yes.
That's exactly correct.
That is, to me, so much more invalidating than players choosing intentional draws. That, to me, is actually so much more invalidating. But I think a single change of going to chess clocks fixes both of those problems, and you never see those again.
Yeah. I don't like to see draws in general. Also, I don't think they did a good job of explaining the way like tiebreakers work, because I believe, at least this is the way we did in the past, at Adepticon, so it's not like another event. There are multiple tiebreakers of board state before you go to an actual draw. And there's like models destroyed or versus its models still alive is one of the tiebreakers before you go to a draw. And maybe they changed that this year, but I think CJ said he got a draw that definitely wouldn't have been one once I told him that was a rule. And so like they're just yelling dice down and waiting for you to put in your results. They're not really even explaining the process of ending a game mid-turn. And so I would have liked to see better on that as well. But yeah, so please message people that you know that get to decide this, and just be vocal about it if you want to use chess clocks. If not, don't. Say you like round timers. Anyway, do we have anything else? I think that was it.
I will say that despite the drama this year, I am looking forward to MCP in 2026, and I think in 2027 I'm going to do at least one event at Adepticon, and I think I'm going to do like a fun event like affiliation battles and play Sentinels, something like that, because I did bring my MCP models to Adepticon. I played just a friendly game with Jake, my painter, who is also a fan of the podcast. Shout out Jake. And I had a really good time playing a game of MCP at Adepticon. It is fun, and I remember some of my favorite, memories are doing that. So it's definitely there. It's not that it was an absolute shit show, and it always is, because it wasn't that. I think a lot of players had a lot of fun at Adepticon playing the game, and it looked really healthy. I think there was a lot of people playing MCP this weekend. So,
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you finish.
I'm looking forward to joining them again. I think that's something that's on my goals for next year, is to bring it back and play an event for sure. This is my first year not doing it, and I missed it.
Well, I will not be playing in any non-chess clocked MCP tournaments. So maybe, fingers crossed, I'll play next year at Adepticon. But I think I was going to ask Josh how he was feeling about MCP, but I think on the positive note, I'd like to end it there, unless, Josh, you want to jump in? Are you good ending it there?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have anything constructive to say. It's just me being needing a break. We need a break from each other. So
CJ and Zach couldn't be here tonight, so we're going to do their wrap-up episodes next week probably, and so we'll talk more about this then.
Okay.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you guys had a great Adepticon, and if not, hopefully you enjoyed listening. This has been Brandon.
And Parker.
And Josh.
And you've just listened to Dice Down.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.